I adore this song. The song gives me chills. It's like sonically, it's so sludgy, but then it's got these drum fills that I used as the basic beat, and it reminded me like just like a constant quick moving wave, like an ocean wave, constantly fucking hitting something, just bombarding it, and being relentless. And yes, I've had feedback about the the sludgy, overdriven guitar. Yes, I wanted it to be just super. I mean, you can if you look at the way the wavelength was recorded, it's very you know microphonically saturated, and yeah, as far as taking the feedback from that, I've tried many a thing to contour some note clarification, because I'm a huge fan of note clarification. I like to hear that in the pickups that I use on the electric guitars, and the tones from my amp. So what I did try is doing some cleaner tones to mix in with what was that super powerful sludgy guitar on the left side. And I'm not done. I'm not done with it. Like I said, this is going to just be available for you to hear, today from here on out. But it doesn't mean I'm not going to be picking at it. But I wear so many hats. I'm trying to mix things. I'm trying to record things. I'm trying to. I'm sorry, not trying. I am, and I'm trying. I'm playing the guitars, playing the bass, singing, and trying to. This I'm trying. I'm trying to get it out there with the digital platforms, and slightly frustrated with the electronic copyright office. And this time, let's add an additional hat. I was I was the project manager. I was first introduced to that terminology when I was living down in Nashville, and I met a lot of people driving down there, and one person was like, yeah, I'm a project manager. So I'm like, well, what does that entail? They're like, well, we just kind of check up on the artist and see how close they are to the deadline dates and all that. I'm like, okay, so you kind of like crack the whip a little bit and make sure it's not something that's never going to be finished. So, putting that arbitrary date of March 26th, it was. I thought I could, do it, and like I said, I did just promise something y'all could hear, where it is at in its development. I'm glad I did that, because was it Saturday night, so much shifting with where I was going to place the songs in the order, and what was actually going to make the cut, and what was relevant and what's working together as an album. So I was just emotionally energized and overwhelmed a bit. I was just crying, because I was hearing new breakthroughs with the songs that had just come about, and how they were all of a sudden giving such more relevance to these other songs, on the record, and like the initial title was going to be Record Cold Winter. It was going to be an homage to the Midwesterners and how stupid we are to live here. No, I won't say stupid, but I guess hardy, but I don't think it's that wise to live in uninhabitable climates. But it's getting better, right? Global warming. So we won't have much for winters anymore. But no, hearing the vulnerability and the great result of what happened with the vocal delivery I did, and I would like to just interject into this video and series of videos that I'm going to be putting out here in regards to this record. I gotta thank my grandma Dean. She was a very supportive soul to me growing up in my music, and very encouraging. And when she passed, she did leave some family members some dough, and I bought a Neumann U87 and a Taylor guitar from it. But I mean, there is, in my opinion, not many microphones that can actually represent the true and full essence of any sound like that one does. I mean, it's like I put it against these other great microphones, and it was just like, it was just no comparison. I'm like, God, I have to have that, and it costs so much money, but I'm like, hey, you know. And I'm thoroughly pleased that she left me that gift, and now it makes all the difference in the world for my gift to y'all, to hear that. What it does is it gives an additional capability to capture every single nuance, like every crack, every inflection of your emotion when you're singing. So I've grown with it and its capabilities, just like getting a great instrument. I don't like to go on and on about gear, but I thought that was a very important thing, part of the dedication. Thank you, Grandma Dean. Now, back to Love Emanating. I've got a couple parts that I mean, there's a lot going on in the song. But like highlights, yes, that guitar tone, and you know, the way the bass goes with it, and the drums, and the sort of stream of consciousness vocal lyric flow. I mean, it's not an ABC verse chorus bridge kind of song. It's boom, straight from here and straight from what was coming out. And take into note what happens with the lead guitar. When we go to help or kindly shove, and when it finally goes to the lyric, love emanating everywhere, when the guitar comes in like a second or two later, right? It's just quirky. It was this quirky serendipitous moment that every time I hear it, it gives me like goosebumps, because the tone microphonically just like kind of slurps in this cool way. It's like it's not a pinch harmonic, but it's just like it hit just right. And I don't remember if I was using like a fuzz, or I think it was just, overdriven off the Mesa. But gosh. And then, to tell you the truth, the solo that follows afterward, I wanted to recreate it with an actual amp, because I did it, direct and used a virtual amp just for that, 20-second solo that kind of goes to the fade out, but I just couldn't do it, and it was just, I could have done something different, but it was just so right. It's still my playing, but it wasn't through an amp, it was a direct thing. The only one on that song. But anyway, I'm not sorry about anything I've done on this record. I'm just excited for you to hear, and excited for how many millions of dollars I'm gonna make, so I can make more records and inspire the world. You know what I mean? And this outro is just, I'm just thankful it was delivered, This when the second synth comes in, after a while, there's no synth at all. It's just the acoustic going with that shaker and the vocal, and then eventually the bass. But the second synth, I used a double patch, like, because I saw that with Expand on the Pro Tools, it comes free with whatever version, 8 through, I don't even know if it comes on 14 or whatever, if that even exists. But anyway, you can automate levels of, second patches. So what I did on that is, just so you're not thinking you're having an acid flashback, or your ears are deceiving you, it's like a scoop kind of sine, but I used it only, like maybe halfway, and then kind of faded it out so it wasn't there, just like, I thought it'd be cool, and it sure worked out well. I know there's a lot of details in that. I'm not even scratching the surface on even this one song, but yeah, I'm obviously pretty passionate about what I do with recording and writing, making art my own way. So, thanks for listening. Enjoy. Or troll and spread BS, whatever you want to do. It can only help me. Thank you.